I still haven't made an intro. Oh, yikes. We're going to work on that. Possibly this week. Possibly never. Who knows? Sign up for the newsletter. Maybe you'll find out there. No, but seriously, go to the website and sign up for the newsletter, please. Please. Hi. How are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Sorry, you kind of came in and I was in the middle of... I really hope I put the information for the episode below. If I didn't, I'll add it later. Whoops, that's worse. Let's turn on the chat. Let's give people some time to settle in. So, hi. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's a bit of a sprint to get in here today. I'm not sad about it. My alarm didn't go off.
Oh no.
Not at all didn't go off. It made no noise whatsoever. And I'm a morning person by training, not by nature. I know some people who wake up and the birds sing and they're like, woo, sunshine. And my thing is more that I worked as a baker for a long time. So I just got really used to having to get up and get out of bed. And part of our live studio audience lives with me and can tell you that this morning I was moving to get out of the house. It was, that was the fastest bowl of Sultana Brown ever consumed. It should be some sort of world record. Because yes, I eat a very boring breakfast. Yeah. Contrary to our travel breakfast. So when Emily and I travel together for work and stuff, we go to the grocery store. This is a very uninteresting story, but I love the grocery store. Remember that time that we went to the grocery store and I got hate speeched? I got hate speeched on our way into the grocery store.
In another language, so we don't know exactly.
Yeah, I don't know what he was commenting on. It was either calling me some species of homosexual, or he was commenting on my amazing outfit, which I looked incredible. So both things are totally possible.
Yes.
But so
No,
you continue.
No, you go.
No,
You.
Oh, I don't know. So we went to the grocery store together, which I think was Emily's first trip to a grocery store with Ethan, obviously. Which I think was a bit of an experience because I kind of just wandered the grocery store grabbing things at random. And for breakfast, I bought Fruit Loops because I am a child.
Have you had the cinnamon donut ones here?
No. I do eat the cinnamon churros occasionally as my treat breakfast cereal. Like the little mini cinnamon churros. Yeah, that's right. They exist. They're delicious. Anyway, but I got a heck of a lot of knitting done over the last little bit. Thank you for Janet has noticed my new jumper. Big shout out to BB's Floors. And BB letting me use her floors to block this jumper, or it would never have dried because I love our house, but things don't dry there in the winter. I have a pair of pants hanging up that have been hanging up for 3 days and they are still vaguely damp. And they're wool, so it's not really a chuck them in the dryer situation to finish them off. Pardon?
She'd chuck them in the dryer.
Yeah, she do a lot of things. Our studio audience has had some real questionable relationships with putting things that shouldn't be in the dryer. It's a situation. But yes, so I don't know. I feel like I have a whole bunch of stuff to talk about that I've been working on. Do you want me to start?
Go for it.
Oh, okay. Here we go. So all of our current projects are linked down below, unless there is no link, like this Catharsis Pullover, which if you want to get on the testnet, I will have the front out to you, hopefully at some point this week. Good luck. We'll see how she goes. I keep meaning to get to it, and then things get away from us because running a business takes a lot of time, energy, and effort. Woo! But the good news is I finished mine. I'm really happy overall with how it's come out. Actually, now that I'm looking at it on camera, I was having a bit of a thing. So every time I knit a jumper at about the 90% finished point, I decide that I hate it arbitrarily every time. It never fails. I don't know how this goes on. And then sometimes I wear it for a bit and find out that I do like it. Sometimes I wear it for a bit and I release it to the four winds and it finds a new home. I'm not sure about this one yet. It remains to be seen. The pattern is really good. It fits the exact way it's supposed to. I'm just not sure as I get more muscular that the drop shoulder is going to be my friend. I think it's going to be more of a raglan situation up in here, just because they're more comfortable on my larger shouldered body.
Not on your guns.
I don't really have big guns. I kind of wish I did, but like I've switched from doing CrossFit to going to like a gym where people bodybuild. And I mean, most of the males there are just horrifyingly disproportionate. Like they've got these teeny tiny little chicken legs and like big giant arms. And
Have
I
you
think
seen
they
those-
should be embarrassed.
You've seen those videos where they get bodybuilders and like put a post-it in the middle of the and they can't get it because that's
I have not, but that sounds good. Anyway, so I have rocketed through this Catharsis jumper now. It's all finished. I love it. The picked up sleeves were a great idea just because it reduces the risk. I figured out how to pick up things from both sides. So I have a fun way to explain in the pattern how to pick up the sleeves so that you don't need to know exactly how much yarn you need. What? Yeah, it's a weird thing. It took me a little while to work it out, but it does work really, really well now that I've got it going on. So yay, so Catharsis Pullover is finished. It's coming to you shortly. Brace yourselves for impact. The other thing that is done, it just needs to be steeked. So in order to make this steeking video, I'm going to need someone else present because I tried to do like a setup briefly once to show myself steeking something and it didn't go well. But all of the actual knitting on my Shiftigan is done. Yay! Including the button bands. Now, I did kind of a like funky thing intentionally. This isn't an accident. So I used for the button stand, this is the button band. So for the button band, I used Big Sky. But for the button stand, the part that actually holds the buttons, I used Ranunculus because I had some left over. And I was playing some really, really aggressive yarn chicken because I wound 10 balls of Big Sky and I was just so close to this being finished. And I just desperately didn't want to have to start into the 10th ball because I have a plan for it. And I didn't have to. So this is the Shiftigan in all of its multicolored glory. Yours doesn't have to look like this. You could do a Shiftigan using all solid colors. You could use a Shiftigan using a solid background. And spin cycle, you could do 3 colors of spin cycle, the same as your shift blips. There's 1,001 different ways to approach this. I think limiting ourselves into just double spin cycle is the best way to approach it. But I'm clearly biased. We will have more spin cycle at some point. The timeline of how this happens is always strange. It just has to do with their system because of how they produce yarn. It's just the way that it is. But I'm thrilled. I love it. I think it's amazing. Just as a side note, I didn't do anything. I didn't do any playing around or modifying to try to make the colors line up or do any of that. I think that's a fool's errand. If you want to do that, more power to you. You kind of have to take it row by row and alternate between sleeves and stuff like that to make it perfectly line up. I think that's a lot of extra ends to weave in, and I already have a Mowry Wallen jumper on the needles, and that wasn't the point of this endeavor. So let's not, right? So that's done. This is done, and there's no way to easily show this to you because it's way too big for the needles already, so I'll just hold it up, and all of you can guess. I'm through the brioche portion of my What the Fade. Woo! And now, a funny confession. Despite having read the entire pattern, I somehow convinced myself in my own mind, no one said this to me, the pattern doesn't say this, that at some point I was going to be doing brioche again. Not really sure what happened there, to be honest. I was like, in my head, I kept being like, okay, well, now I just have to work until I get to the next brioche portion. But I'm wrong.
Sorry, say that again.
Well, I thought that I was... Funny.
We got that on camera, right? Yeah.
Yeah, see, I was only
Everyone
wrong
heard?
with myself.
Everyone heard?
Though. Oh, that's cute. Anyway, the good news is I'm into the garter stitch now, and it's all garter all the way. So it's just going to be like some super straightforward knitting.
So how
That's
does
it.
this? Is that the? Does it become the top? I don't
This is the
understand.
top.
This is the top,
This is the top.
and it's like a triangle, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is the point. This is the point. This is the flat top edge. Because when you make a triangle shape, what you're doing is you're creating stitches along a central spine and simultaneously creating stitches going outwards this way. when we wow,
Yes, Sam.
feeling very attacked on my own podcast. When we increase along this edge, along a straight edge, an even proportion, and do that simultaneously with something going on in the middle, what occurs basically is it unfolds, if you will. But the unfolding happens across the plane of the fabric. So it extends outwards in length, but it doesn't drop forwards the way that it would to become rectangular. Does that make sense?
Not really, but I'm sure you're not wrong.
I'm not wrong. That's just how this works. But yes, we are trucking through this. Honestly, once you get through the brioche, that's all there is to it. And it's really just getting through the first fade portion. And that was just because there was a lot of balls of yarn attached. And now there's going to be a maximum of 2 attached at a time, which is very exciting for me. So yeah, that's that. I'm just going to work my way through this garter stitch portion now. It's going to go back to being at work knitting. And there's no more brioche. I have other projects lined up, but it kind of has to do with talking about a bunch of things that are going on here. So what about your project? Hit us with some updates.
Yes, so this is my Effervescent. It's a lot more lace than I noticed at the beginning, but hey, there we go. Sorry, I don't want to. So I'm almost at the point where I put in my lifeline for where I pick up the ruffle.
Ooh,
the fluffle.
The fluffle.
Yeah, this is quite a lot of lace.
It is quite a lot of lace. So how far along in the lace are you?
I've done 80 rounds and there's 20-ish to go.
I love the boldness of bringing this situation with you to work today.
Wow. See, thing is, so every other round in the lace, you just knit the knits and purl the purls.
Okay.
So that's the row I'm on at the moment.
Right.
So in theory, that's easy. And then for the bit where the fluffle goes, you do a purl all the way around and knit all the way around. So those are the only 3 rows that I'm doing in public.
Okay.
And then I'll go back to my crochet, which I did bring with me. I haven't done heaps on it. It's just a little bit.
Yay.
Yeah.
We're not sad that someone abandoned the 5mm needles.
Yes. So we went from knitting this to crocheting this. So it's like crochet version of moss stitch. And I'm just going round and round and round until I ran out of yarn, basically. And then it'll be seamed up to make a little cow.
There we go.
But this is my in public knitting. So yeah, but I'm just really trying.
100%. If you were on a television show, what they would say, they would hold up a piece of crocheting and be like, "This is my in public knitting."
Oh yes, wow. All right.
Savage.
I'm really trying to get this finished.
Savage morning. I think you're doing a great job.
Yeah, we've had a few problems, but mostly it's gone okay.
What were the problems? Can you share with the audience?
The main thing is just with the lace, picking it up and putting it down and coming back and thinking you're doing the wrong bit.
Right.
So, yeah, I had some problems last night where I thought I was doing the complicated lace row, but I was supposed to be doing the easy lace row. And then trying to undo it is quite difficult.
Yep, that's for sure. And it is quite tricky to see lace, especially when you do it in hand-dyed, highly variegated yarn.
Yeah, and when there's like yarn overs and...
Yeah, you've done it again, Emily.
What do you mean? I've picked something totally easy and simple.
Not even once. Not even one time. Except for the scarf that you're wearing, which is technically
totally easy
and straightforward. As long as you have a
knit.
year or 2 of your life to give up to it.
But hey, should we swear to the audience? Where's he gone? Can you see this? Oh no.
Cover my face.
Can you see that?
No.
Anyway, it says finally fucking finished.
Finally fucking
And
finished.
this is the first time I've worn it, which is a bit sad, but I made an effort to wear things I haven't worn.
Yeah,
today.
you look cute.
Except every time I wear this cardigan now, I can just see the mistake that you were just staring at.
I'm sorry. Oh, I don't think it's you. I think it's the
So
pattern.
we're just gonna drape this here, and then it's fine. And I have a crochet brooch. Doo, doo, doo.
Amazing.
It's crochet.
It is
It's
crochet.
not knitting.
It is indeed crochet.
Crochet.
I am not wearing my llama brooch. It did not go with this jumper. Okay. Now, we have a million other things to talk to you about. Because we have a million things in shop. We have a whole bunch of new things. We have classes and knit-alongs and oh my, so many things going on. So What the Fade is a knit-along that I'm running in our online group, the Flock Online. It currently has a different web address. We're working on that. I spent quite a bit of my time on the phone yesterday with the company that provides us with that service, being like, hey, you said you were changing this. We'll get there. Anyway, but so if you want to get involved in What the Fade, we do have What the Fade sets still online. So there's the new color pack, which is made up of new colors from Hedgehog Fiber into a What the Fade set that I developed. There is also, I think, one more of the original color What the Fade sets left. And in a super special fun thing, we will have more potluck shortly, which means we could make a potluck fade for you out of the potluck skeins that we have here. So if you wanted a potluck option, do let us know. We would be glad to do that. And we also have a great selection of their other yarns, so you can get involved. You can also just do this from stash. That is an option. You could join the Flock and come in and play with your stash and have a good time. Shopping your stash for projects is a good idea that we fully support.
Could you do it in solid colors?
You can.
Or is it less exciting?
No, actually, it's more exciting in solid colors. There is a yarn company called Sweet Georgia, and she's based in Vancouver in Canada, and she used to do solid color ones. She did a whole bunch of sets that were all based on famous cafes from TV shows. And my personal favorite one was the Peach Pit. Anyone know the show?
90210.
That is correct. Yeah, the Peach Pit, and that one was a solid color one with it kind of looked like a sunset with shades of like fuchsias and purples and oranges and blue, and it's really, really beautiful. If you go on to Ravelry and look up, actually down below in the notes, there's a link to What the Fade. If you look through the projects and you go into the filter by yarn used and click on the Sweet Georgia one, you'll be able to find those and take a look at what they look like as solids.
I'm assuming there's a lot of projects in the What the Fade.
There's a few.
Just a couple.
There's a few. We all love Andrea, and this is one of her best patterns. I've now cranked out a few Andrea knits, and this is just, I don't know, I'm finding it really easy and relaxing. The brioche portion was very straightforward. So this would be a good brioche beginner project because there's two increases to know about. 3 occur in the row, but there's 2 styles of increase, and they happen every second brioche repeat. And apart from that, it's just kind of straightforward. The fading isn't difficult. It's just about yarn management. So that's making sure you put the balls of yarn in a place so that they're not tangled around each other when you start the row. And apart from that, it's really just enjoyable, straightforward knitting. And as I said, like eventually you just get to this garter section, and then it's just kind of straight on forever. You know, usually on Saturdays we get a break from the construction across the road, and today is not that day.
I forgot to show everyone when I was doing my project update. Project updates. I found like the best vintage. I have like 6 of these, but this is the only pink one that I have. Well, pink adjacent. It gives me Barbie vibes. I don't know why, but I was very excited.
Very good.
I'm going to try and, since I see my superpower seems to be finding these in the wild.
Yeah.
I thought I might try and get a stack for
the shop.
Yes.
Yeah, amazing. Someone's very keen on that. The studio
and
audience
also
is
potentially
very
make some.
Okay. Just add that into your schedule.
Yes. I mean, I
you
don't
have
take
nothing
on
going
much.
on.
No.
Never. Not even one time.
No.
Well, okay. So What the fade. Then next week, we have a lace yoke pullover knit along starting. What? That's right. Our Wednesday night knitting group has gone rogue, and the wonderful BB has planned, sorted, and organized a knit along for your pleasure. It's not ribbed for your pleasure, it's laced for your pleasure. You're welcome. Oh, I'm going to hell for that. Or possibly just like YouTube jail. I don't know if that's a thing or not, but we'll find out. So, lace yoke pullover. Are you participating, Emily? Help me sort of sing the song. What are you making?
I am making this pattern called the Lady Catkin Pullover.
That's going to go great.
Yeah, it is. Sorry, I'm just a bit dubious about what's going on in this row, but that's fine. Yes, it is by Fox and Folk.
Never heard of them.
They have a lot of children's patterns, but also some grown-ups.
Oh, okay.
But it's basically like ranunculus, but better.
Okay.
The neckline isn't as wide.
Right.
Which is what I liked. And it has like a panel with lace that's, yeah.
Does this have some sort of wacky construction, or is it just cast on and knit downwards?
I don't know. I think it's top down.
Dollars to Donuts says that this is going to have some wacky construction.
It has puff sleeves.
Which cute. I can get into a puff
or like
sleeve.
Puff at the bottom, whatever that's called.
Yeah.
Balloon sleeve.
A balloon sleeve.
Balloon sleeve.
Un ballon.
And I'm going to make it in tweedy.
Ooh, very pretty.
Yes, in lullaby.
Well, that is because we do have a Tweety pre-order coming out, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Yes. So instead of trying to stock Tweety all the time, which can be a bit of a fool's errand, we're going to be doing a roughly bi-monthly or tri-monthly, depending on how we're feeling and how all of you are feeling, pre-order for Tweety. So we'll open it up, we'll put it on the website, order what you want for your projects. This way, too, you're guaranteed to get what you want in the color that you want. Which can be difficult because there are so many beautiful Tweety colors now. So we'll be getting that sorted. It'll go up this week. Keep your eyes peeled. We all froth a good Tweety pre-order, don't we? Then, yeah. So I'm also participating in the lace yoke knitting. Now, what are you knitting your lace yoke in? Have you decided? Oh, Tweety. Fuck me. No. Yeah. Yeah. One day it'll happen where I'll be alert and paying attention to everything around me, and then we'll all pass out from shock. So I'm going to be making Treit, Treit, and I'm going to be using the Aspen 4-ply that I have in my hand. So this is from our friends at Wild Earth. This color is Cypress. Oh, we're just going to cover Emily's face and my face and see if the ball goes into view. Oh, no, stop looking around it.
But I can't see.
You don't need to see what's on the screen. You can see it in person. You're right here. See, look, there's the yarn. Anyway, so I'm going to be doing Treit in the Aspen 4-ply. Treit is by Davies. It's a bottom-up lace yoke pullover with a short sleeve, crazy, or long sleeve, normal option. You start with the sleeves and the body, you knit upwards, you join them together, you knit the yoke, you're done. I historically have been quite fast at knitting these styles of pullover. So,
as opposed to everything else.
I don't know. I feel like I've been real slow lately. So it's been an interesting thing trying to come back to my previous knitting speed.
Yeah, I mean, like that Shiftigan took, what, 2 whole weeks?
It was painful. I almost died. And I mean, I only made this in the meantime and finished this and did a couple of other things in there. Oh, and also a hello to my mother who is watching, and my uncle who is apparently being forced to watch this. This must be thrilling for him. Yes, but now I am chipping away at this with the fade. I'm going to cast on my Treit. So the knit along is also posted in our Ravelry group. What? That's right. There's a Get Flocked Ravelry group. So if you're not here in person for Wednesday nights, please feel free to jump in. If you're on the Flock online, please feel free to jump in. We will, of course, be talking about it at our Wednesday night knit night meetup at the end of the month online. And probably every Wednesday hereafter, everyone will just have to sit and listen to everyone talk about their lace yoke pullovers. So, you know, be like Amy, cave to the peer pressure and get into it.
BB's group on Ravelry also has a bunch of alternative pattern suggestions.
Yes. So if you don't want to make a Treit for some reason,
or a love note or a ranunculus.
No, I was going to try to remember what you called your
Lady Catkin Pullover.
So easy to remember. Unlike Treit. Neither of these.
Yeah.
How did we come up with these? I blame Kate Davies and whoever that woman who designed yours is. Name, not remembered.
Fox and or Folk. Do you think that's her name?
I think her name is probably something. Fig and Fox?
Maybe.
Fox and Fig. Is she the peanut butter person?
No.
Are you knitting a pattern by the peanut butter lady?
No.
That could be funny. Anyway, if you do, but you know what? If you do want to make a ranunculus or a love note, I think Emily has some yarn to show you that will set your little hearts afire.
I do.
Because I'm going to wait until she has the selection that she wants to hold up initially in her hands.
I'm going with the bold.
Okay.
Bold beginning.
We have.
I'm going to try and hold them in the right place.
You're not even
ready?
prepared. Ready? Put my face close so it's easier to cover.
Nope, can't do it.
I
I always get the wrong way. Woo!
That's right. So we are starting off with the Cessia Vivienne. It's beautiful. Like the product itself is beautiful.
It's so soft and fluffy and lovely.
So that's right. We're mohair people now. I don't know if I'm ever going to be a full-on mohair person. I have some mohair sitting at home to knit with. We're going to find out. I've only used it once before, I think. But yes, so super exciting. If you want to do a love note or a ranunculus and you want that fluffy haze and you don't want to use alpaca blue clay, which we still have plenty of and is beautiful as well, then come get your mohair.
Don't make a face.
Well, I mean, it's just going to be an experience. You're kind of like listing to port, like off camera.
Oh, sorry. It's because you put it in a weird place.
I put it in the same place.
No.
We're going to need spike tape.
And we just got this in as well.
We did. So
I only brought 2 colors over because.
Well, that's okay because we have to talk to them about what's going on tomorrow.
Yes. Okay.
Emily's abandoning me to do this thing called day off.
Yeah.
Gross.
Spend time with your family.
Overrated. It's the one true joy of my family being on another continent is instead I can just work constantly and feel no guilt. Yes, where were we? That
Tomorrow's
yarn.
class.
Tomorrow. So if you are looking for something to do with your Sundays, good news, like many other days that end in Y, Get Flocked has you covered. Because you could literally just spend your entire week and your entire social life, everything could just revolve around here. I'd like to be clear that we're not a cult. But this is an option for all of you watching from home or in person. So the good news is that you can come and learn from me how to knit a top-down jumper tomorrow morning. It starts at 10 a.m., right when the store opens. That's not going to go badly. I'm definitely going to be on time. And it runs until 12, 10 till 12. So tomorrow is all about getting patterns sorted, making sure that you've got the yarn, and getting everyone cast on, whether or not they like it. I am recommending a pair of patterns, Bibliophile 2 and Bibliophile 3, if you want to make a more man-style jumper. It is by Alicia Plummer, and it is in DK weight. To help you with your lifestyle, we have acquired a new DK weight yarn.
Apparently, I can only do it if I come in from the side.
Yeah, okay. We love an entrance from the wings, so that's good. So this is the Eden 8-ply by Wild Earth. It is 100% Polworth. We have more than enough to get you started for tomorrow, so pop on in, get ready.
It's also online if you're not in Christchurch.
It is also online.
And I spent some time yesterday, I don't know if you've noticed, rejigging the website. So you can now shop by weight and by brand.
Oh my God.
And the by weight does include patterns because it wouldn't let me exclude anything. But
Okay.
I feel like that's not a bad thing because you can find patterns for the weight you want to use.
Exactly. Perfect. Amazing. So
we also have the sock class.
We also have a sock class in the afternoon. Now I'm going to be using this incredible sock yarn from our good friend Rebecca at Kiwi Yarna. Cover our faces. There we go. Oh yes, we love. We have lots of her beautiful sock yarn in stock right now.
I believe she might be bringing some more tomorrow.
Oh, and there might be even more tomorrow. So brace yourselves for that explosion. And for my Bibliophile pullover, I'm actually going to use the 8-ply natural in cream because I actually love a cream jumper. So I'm going to knit myself a cream raglan in this undyed 8-ply. Oh, God, one day. There we go. We'll work on this. Maybe we could start being those people who, like, we talk about something and like a picture of it pops up in a square between us, but that's never going to happen.
You know how, like, sorry, in some people's garages, they have like a tennis ball hanging on a string. So
Yeah,
they
so
don't
they-
have, maybe we need like something hanging here that
Right.
we can like go to.
I don't have a problem getting it onto camera. I just have a problem sometimes finding enough things to pick up to cover our faces so that it zooms in on that instead of us. We've got different issues. They're stemming from the same problem. I want to be clear here. Like, both Emily and I we're not as capable as we could be with cameras, which is embarrassing given what both of us have done with our lives in the past.
Definitely don't have a
Thanks.
degree in television production. Should we also tell people about these?
Oh, I don't see why not. The good news continues for all of you watching from home and possibly for the people here in shop, although between us, I think we've got about 9 project bags on the go, so this might not be quite as exciting for the rest of us. But we have no more room for these. They must leave. They are beautiful and they're big. These are the Mindful totes. So these guys are on sale. They're 25% off. So they're only $60 this weekend. They're really well made. They've got a padded interior pocket, a zip interior pocket, an exterior pocket that has a zip, and a magnetic closure. Plus, they've got a gusseted bottom so they open up flat and sit really well. We absolutely recommend these. The only reason that they are on sale is because they're big and our shop is small.
Yes.
And that's a combination that doesn't often go well. Just a reminder, our Ashford yarn sale does continue as well. So please continue to buy that. We've made great gains on getting it out of the door. Thank goodness.
So it's buy 5, get
20% off. Yeah. That is to make you buy as many balls as we possibly can, just for the record. As it gets to the few last ones of things, we might adjust that sale, but I wouldn't wait for that because then you won't get what you want.
Do we want to
Boom.
show off while we're talking Ashford? The thing that's
Oh, yes, that's a good point. While we're talking Ashford, I'm going to hand that over to you.
because I'm really good at doing this.
Yeah, it's practice. Come in from the side, swoop in.
I
swoop
can't
in.
even see anymore.
There we
Here
go. Perfect. This is the Waffle Stitch Baby Blanket from Tin Can Knits.
Made by our live studio audience,
Yeah.
or half of our live studio audience.
That's right. It took, to get to that size, it was 3 balls of the Ashford triple knit, which means that you could make a bigger one with 6, or you could make a bigger one with 5, or you could knit it at
It's
a
got a
much
really
denser
pretty
gauge.
texture.
Yeah, the waffle stitch is really pretty. It's very easy to do. And no yarn was harmed in the making of that blanket that I saw. So that's a step in the right direction.
I also grabbed a couple of these.
Oh, yes. If you're not tired of seeing my face yet, do we have good news for you? It can now haunt your home.
But
No,
it's printed so you can draw like a little moustache on them if you want.
Oh, guess I understand why Emily's bought one. Feel like I'm now highlighted on her dartboard. Awkward. Which one are you throwing darts at?
This one's the biggest. so
Right. Okay, good.
We have printed copies of Ethan's patterns.
That's right. I'm a grown-up knitwear designer now. Printed copies of my patterns are here for you if you just can't wait to get your hands onto a DK weight hat pattern,
Mhm.
because apparently I have the only one that exists.
I've made it. It's good.
It is a good hat pattern. I'm actually really proud of it.
Mm.
Elisa's made 2. Oh my god. Jen's made one as well. Okay, here we go. Everybody's knitting them. It's like everybody's surfing now, but with hat patterns.
It's good because it has options. So like
It
there's
does.
multiple choices.
I think it's a really good thing. I really like it. But yeah, so I'm just chipping away at this. You're chipping away at that. Oh, is that everything?
Um,
Have we missed anything?
probably.
It's hard to know. We've actually been really busy in a good way, which is great. We've had lots of people we've never met before coming into the shop.
Mhm.
If you're somebody who's come in to say hello, have a look around, or shop with us, thank you. It is really refreshing. just as a side note, now that we're in the middle of this and all of you are still watching for some reason, which is disturbing, I'm kidding. Please do subscribe to the podcast and click if there's some sort of like button. I think there's something else I'm supposed to ask you to do, probably to share it to people.
Bell thing.
The bell for notifications. So if
Yeah.
you don't want to miss out on our next live and you're watching this and it's not live, or you're watching it and it is live, click on the bell for notifications. I might also start using a feature built into our streaming platform that will start putting out an announcement and put a little thing onto YouTube to tell you when the next one is coming. Now, next Saturday, I'm off.
Oh, yeah, we haven't talked about that.
That's okay. Next Saturday, I'm off, but I'm actually going to pre-record the podcast. It's going to be super exciting. So please get ready to jump in. Next Saturday, yes, that's right. I know, it's a thing. You're all still welcome to come to the shop and hang out and do all the normal things, but I am not going to repeat the mistakes of the past. And so I'm taking the weekend off. That's right, because Emily is a big girl and can handle this place by herself.
Mhm.
Right, Emily?
Yes.
I believe.
Yes.
Do you believe?
Yes.
Okay. Seems super.
We had some internet issues yesterday that made life a bit difficult.
Unfortunately, I'm not actually in charge of the internet.
Yes.
It's sad for me too.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish I was in charge of everything. It would make my life easier, that's for certain.
We did have a lovely builder come and fix our door, so it's easier to get
Yes.
in and out now.
Oh, good. Easy to get in. Still not easy to get out because the yarn will trap you here.
Yes.
Yes, and I am just pumping through this. Oh my God, this is just not that hard. I really do. I can't get over how much easier this is than I thought it was going to be. It looked really beginner friendly, but some beginner friendly things don't. Would you please do a twirl with your new design? I physically can't. I'm sorry, everyone. I will put up some photos of it soon onto Instagram. We have kind of an interesting space thing. So what you don't know is that about 30 centimeters in front of our legs, there is a coffee table. Now my feet are roughly 22 centimeters-ish when I'm inside of the giant clod hopper boots that I'm in. And there's a rug and all sorts of other things. And then the camera would have to move. So twirling is a little difficult. I could kind of like push Emily off the couch and kind of like sausage roll on the sofa.
Can you do like a
horizontally?
Exorcist,
Oh, yeah. I certainly won't. So this is the pullover, though. This is how it's come out. You can see the cabling runs all over it. The neckline does an interesting thing where the cable interacts with this neckline. So I've created this kind of selvage at the neckline edge so that we have this clean line where the cabling comes in. Now, I tried, but I could not actually force perfect mirroring on the shoulder. It's pretty close. The cable is intentionally biased so that when you're knitting it, when the piece of work is facing you, not on the finished garment, when the piece of work is facing you, the right-leaning twist is more prominent than the left-leaning twist. It's just how it works because of how I've decided to do the cable crosses. So it means that when you're finishing the shoulders, the front and the back, you're actually sewing a left to a right and a right to a left. So even though it's symmetrical when you have them with the wrong side, right side, wrong side, right side stacked on top of each other vertically, when you seam them together, you're seaming the opposite to the opposite. So it just doesn't quite line up. This is probably the world's most boring and least necessary explanation, but it's been driving me bananas. So all of you now had to suffer through it as well.
Thanks.
Hey, Emily. You're welcome.
Yes, we're like, you're welcome.
No. I prefer my style. I like my approach. It's more confident.
Mm-hmm.
That is certainly one thing I don't lack. Confidence. Sunshine, rain, I've got it in me.
We also have some fun novelty stitch markers.
We do have fun novelty stitch markers. Now, how did those come to be, Emily?
I was like, this could be more fun.
So
we have donuts, we have rubber ducks, we have frogs, we have unicorns, love hearts. Oh, we might not have all of those still.
We've lost some of them. We've lost some good men along the way. The studio audience has been shopping. They beat you here. Sorry, everyone. You are always welcome to come join the live studio audience. There are more chairs. We would love to eventually have a whole host of you here. We are lacking one of our regular studio audience members. She's doing some sort of wedding. Gross. Look, when you've been to the number of weddings I have been to, and my mother and my uncle are both here, and they can tell you that, so we used to run a catering company when I was younger. So by sheer force of just catering things, plus the obnoxious number of family members I have, because apparently no one in my family has experienced birth control, I have been to a lot of weddings, like a simply disturbing number that defies all expectation. And the worst part is, I love them. I love a wedding. I like the flowers and the terrible cake. I love the big dress. Like the more Panina Tournée, where it's just like rhinestones and tulle, the better. Like, honestly, I am here for it. I even like that stupid Say Yes to the Dress show. Not any of the new ones, just the original, and specifically the first 4 seasons where they really go at each other. That one I really enjoy. Where, like, you know, they're running around in the back and they're stealing each other's dresses. Sorry. But I do love a wedding, but I have just been involved in too many weddings. Too many. I've been a groomsman in several weddings. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Sorry, I made a mistake. So.
Okay. It's all right.
Yeah, it wasn't. I just went back into pattern rather than just purling.
Like,
proof that even my simple rows should not be.
I didn't want to say any of this. I mean, all I'm doing is garter stitch, so like I have no excuses.
It's because I've been doing more complicated things for so long now that just purling seems it's too easy.
Well, that's a good thing though. So like, you know, I mean, you've been knitting for 3-ish years now that I can think of.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we've really come a long way from Seeds to Get Death Scarf to where we are today with both the speed and the skill of your knitting.
I just need to put this
I'm
back.
sorry. It's not my fault that I'm like this. Don't encourage people to stab me. Who will feed you? That's right. Jesus. Yes. So, I mean, this is a very ambitious project, but you're relatively at the beginning of your knitting. So it's not actually like you've done a big swing in a good way. Do you have advice for new knitters? Do you want to share things Emily has learned along the journey?
Just with lace, I'd say it looks scarier than it is. The actual stitches aren't hard. It's keeping track of where you are.
Yes, I agree completely.
So I probably should have learned from my past mistakes and put markers in at each repeat, which I, for some reason, didn't do.
Now, that's a good point, but also, and not possibly with this particular piece of lace, but oftentimes that's actually quite hard to do with lace because lace regularly increases and decreases stitches. It can be really hard to maintain markers between your lace. So if you're a newer knitter and you're watching this, first of all, you're at the most exciting phase. The beginning is the best part. The rest of it is different and new and exciting in different ways. But those first 6 or 7 months in the build up to that first jumper or first big shawl or whatever your goal is are the most exciting parts. What? Oh, okay. I thought you were laughing at me, which also fair. But yes, so I think that new challenges, trying different things is actually really good at the beginning. It's actually in many ways better and easier than at the more developed phase of your knitting where you'll try to talk yourselves out of doing things left, right, and center. Because you'll be like, I don't have the skill for that. Because once you know that you can't do something, you can convince yourself you can't do something because the mind is a powerful thing.
Color work.
Yeah, so I think that you can do color work, actually. I fully believe in the possibility of Emily creating beautiful color work things. But Emily doesn't believe in the possibility of Emily creating beautiful colorwork things. What has gone on? Now, let's just talk about the fact that you started with possibly the worst possible idea for colorwork.
Do you know what's funny? And if June's watching, she'll know. You know my little froggy?
Yeah.
That I made for June. Well, I found someone had made like the equivalent of the Intaja sunset jumper, but frog size. And I was like, that sounds like a great idea. Froggy needs a sunset jumper too. I think I broke him.
So a solid 2/3 of my life not even since we started working together, just since Emily started coming in to knit things, is Emily turning up with patterns that I have just never seen before from some dark depth of Ravelry where like everything is made out of seed stitch and, you know, sleeves are attached at all sorts of angles that don't make sense and are 10,000 times the size of what you think they are or something like that. And some very, very small, frequently very, very small, very, very blonde Nordic woman is staring out from behind a sea of fluff with a facial expression that says, "Ooh, I made this." And you're like, you certainly did.
I'm just going to see if I can quickly find the sunset jumper that we're talking about. Because it's amazing and I do need it in my life. But 9 colors in one row is your first colorwork's probably not a good idea.
Especially when it's Intarsia, everyone. 9 Intarsia colors where the colorwork started in the ribbing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, Jen.
And the pattern didn't come in different sizes, so I had to like redo the chart.
That's correct.
Can you see?
It is amazing.
It's just the best. It's like paint by numbers, but knitted. I love it. I'll get there.
Send help and alcohol to 225 High Street, Christchurch Central 8011, because that's the only way I'm making it through this. This is my life. So you were going to make a miniature version of that for the frog.
I'm not actually.
Thank God.
I just thought it was funny.
You never know, though. Honestly, sometimes it's hard to tell with this one. Like, it feels like she might be kidding, but it turns out she's not. Now, I froth a bit of Intarsia. I did have bold plans of getting through some Susan Duckworth this year, but that got derailed by life. So Susan might have to be a next year exploration. We'll find out.
There was talk at Wednesday knit night when you went here of doing like a group knit along of like crazy 80s. And I feel like I have a library that can help people.
So does someone else. Finally, time for the giraffe skirt to shine.
And I have a Beatrix Potter book. We can have Tom Kitten jumpers.
The Tom Kitten jumper is amazing. Just as a side note, that is a real thing. I am fully in favor of that. I will, if I participate, I will be doing a Susan Duckworth situation.
Peacocks, perchance?
Peacocks, or possibly just the giant roses, the giant rose
one?
Just the one that's probably the giant roses on the black background. Although I'd probably change that to navy. Black doesn't really work in my wardrobe. And it's DK weight, so I could use all the beautiful yarns from Wild Earth. That's right. Oh, yes.
Well, that's the good thing about
keep it local.
These DKs that we have. There's a lot of them you can mix and match, right?
Yes, absolutely. So you could use the natural, the Eden, options. The 8-ply that we have, the Vesper 8-ply from the amazing Lisa F. yarn company, which is called Burnt Hills. You can use them all together. And also, soon we will have the Ashley 8-ply as well, which is just going to be amazing. The Tom Kitten jumper is supposed to be scary, Carla. It's intended to be scary. He was scared. It's kind of the whole story of Tom Kitten. That's all. Like,
roll him up in some butter.
Oh, right. Oh, so disturbing. For anyone who dealt with me as a child, I had a long-term relationship with Beatrix Potter. I have her complete works, and I used to read them all the time in an obsessive way.
I used to love the TV show. It started out like live action and then would go into a cartoon.
Oh.
And it was like Beatrix Potter and some random little children like running through the rain. And there was like a real Jemima Puddle Duck that like squawked at them,
Yes.
and then it would like go into the cartoon.
Jemima Puddle Duck is shit.
Yeah.
Although my favorite Beatrix Potter story is The Tailor of Gloucester.
Yes.
And there is a Tailor of Gloucester pullover, I believe,
Yes.
that mimics the brocade fabric from the it's incredible. It's color work, and it mimics the brocade fabric that that is featured in the story.
The book is amazing.
Yeah. Did you guys know that Beatrix Potter was a mycologist? She studied mushrooms. That was actually her
Yes.
thing. Specifically, she studied the psilocybin strains of mushrooms. So at least we know how all of this happened, don't we?
Because didn't she write at least one book specifically about mushrooms? I feel like.
Yes,
Yeah.
she did.
Mm.
Well, after she had brewed some tea with mushrooms, let's put it that way, because that was her thing. She used to make mushroom tea.
Mm-hmm.
Tea.
There is a squirrel nutkin, just FYI, and it's amazing.
It is amazing.
There's an adult and child version.
Thank God.
Well, I think they're all by Pat Mancini.
That would check out.
So you can probably find them on Ravelry. They're in my favorites.
Incredible. All right. So, quick recap. If you're in Christchurch and want to learn, oh,
Sorry,
she inhaled.
I've just realized the naturals would be perfect for Tom Kitten.
Yes, the
How have I
naturals
not
would
noticed
be
this
perfect.
before?
I don't know.
They're perfect.
I mean, you're the keeper of the book. You should know these things. Okay. So a quick recap of today's rundown, just so you know, all the links to everything are down below. If you want to check out any of the yarns we talked about today or patterns, the patterns are all below with Ravelry links, and except for all of the Intarsia stuff, because I wasn't planning on talking about that when we started. No, it's good. It's good, not bad. You can't get any of those patterns loose on Ravelry anyway. You have to find the books, and you'll never guess who have all the books. That's right. They've got 2 thumbs, and they're right here. Well, I guess actually we have 4 thumbs. If you have any questions or want to get involved in knitting more or want to be involved in your local community, join us either online at the Flock Online. Currently, you navigate there by typing in outlawonline.co.nz, but that will be changing. Hopefully, should have changed yesterday, but hey, life happens. If you want to get involved in person, our Wednesday night knit group is growing by the second. So you're going to have to get in quick to secure literally somewhere to sit. If you're coming to Wednesday night, please do bring your own seat. We can never guarantee that we'll have enough seats. Well, there is room in the shop to fit most people still. Chairs are at a premium because we've only got so much room to store them. You can check us out always. We're open 24/7 at getflock.co.nz, and we're here in beautiful Christchurch CBD every day. That's right. Weekdays we're here from 10 till 6, and on the weekend from 10 till 4. Tomorrow morning, starting at 10 a.m., we have our first in-person class series going off, starting with how to knit a top-down jumper. I have 2 patterns that I've suggested, one for a male body, one for a female body, although good news, you can just knit which one you prefer. If you have a pattern that you want to work on, you can bring that as well, and we will do our best to help you. We've got lots of great yarn in shop for you to knit that with, including the Aspen 8-ply that we forgot to talk about somehow amidst all of this.
There's just too many. They're all amazing.
They are all amazing.
I want to knit with all of them.
I'm same.
So I'm like, hurry up.
I kind of like made up a project just so I could cast on with the natural. It's like, oh, I too must knit a pattern for this top-down class. Oh.
I can't stop thinking about Tom Kitten.
Deep breaths. Get it together. Yes, and we have beautiful hand-dyed yarns from Kiwi Yarna, Yarn Floozy, and of course, last and never least in my heart, the Hardy Hoolies, our good friends Paul and Julie. So if you want to get stuck in on any of this, come and visit us. Don't forget, Wednesdays start at 6. The shop is open right till 6. Please feel free to turn up earlier. That's what most people do anyway. And if you need an extra dose of community in your life and you're sitting at home or you just don't know what to do with yourself ever, please remember that there is a big sofa here. It sits 3 quite comfortably, and a chair and a selection of chairs around at the back of the shop. You don't have to be at home just doing your knitting. You can be here. Anytime we're open, our seats are open to you, and we would love to have you. It is always wonderful just to have people in the shop. That little low murmur or loud murmur or absolute screaming of talking actually makes us a more welcoming place. And we want you to be here with us, not just to come in and shop. So if you're coming into the CBD and you don't have anywhere else to be, come be here. If you've got 10 minutes before an appointment, come be here. We want to see you. We want to hear what's going on with your projects, and we want to know you better. So just remember, our door is always open, and now you can get inside.
Yay!
Thanks to the nice builder who fixed it. Do you have anything else to add before we wrap up our show for today?
I don't think so.
Great. Subscribe to the email, subscribe to this podcast, hit all of the buttons that do liking and reminding and all of that jazz. Show it to all of your friends, even if they don't knit. And if they don't want to watch it, you know, we can send you a great clip from A Clockwork Orange of how you fix that. Too soon? It's never too soon, right? It's never too soon for a Clockwork Orange reference. All right. Thank you for coming today, and I hope you all have a great